but now they've adjusted that range. And so the range will go lower when they expand it. It expands it typically in both directions. So they contract it to stop the movement. And then once the market's somewhat relatively normal or calm, it will expand it. And that's where this one ends, down here.
Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, it's not bouncing with any sort of energy at all here after hitting that target.
No, it hit this. This was the price band area, 36, and it came back up. It came back right to this one, to 888. Well, you can see it came up to there. It actually got to 97, I guess.
Yeah.
And then now it's trying to make its way back down, and they just expanded that range again, so it should be down here now.
Target's lower still, yeah. Yeah, when it hit that, it did push slightly above it, but then it was wicking right off that, and there was a nice sell off that. Cool.
Yeah, I played on Friday when it did that. I bought gold puts on GLD.
That's sick.
And they were cheap, super cheap, so
wow.
cheap.
Love
because it was up here. So
right.
Then this morning I was like, oh look, it's playing out. When it hit this one, I was like, okay, we're good, we're golden.
Yeah.
It got that, and then it adjusted again, and it hit this one, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get the third one. And so when the market opened, I was nice on the money. And then I exited, the market opened at 9:30. I was exited completely out of the trade by 9:31.
Heck yes. When you wake up to that kind of profit with a slide down like that, that's lock it in, man. Beautiful. Yeah, the bears are pushing down across the board right now.
What I should have done, actually I do have an order pending, but I set limit orders if I'm playing with options based off of the range that's currently open, as far as like, okay, and what I'm doing that for is to buy them as cheap as possible, because when you get the spike, if it goes in the opposite direction of your option, so if you have a put and price spikes up, that, especially on gold, it'll suck the value right out of it really quick. So you can place orders for literally a third or a quarter of whatever the price is at the current moment, and it may or may not fill. But if the price spikes, like if it's expected to, and it goes the range, it will typically trigger those, and you'll end up in a. And then if it just falls right back off, or goes in the direction that you're intending, then it will generally go way beyond the price that you originally saw it at. So it's like the puts I had were, I think yesterday they were like 0.4, so 40 US dollars. And then today they were 1,000. So
that's a solid win. I love that. You're essentially getting yourself a wick entry on an option trade by putting that limit order for a fraction of the price, which is smart, because oftentimes we will see it will run the numbers and wick away from it.
And if you know that the price of the option, if you have a general idea of how they function as far as the amount, like the volatility that it sucks out of it, the IV, you can also, if you trust it, you can do the other way that I trade them, is I will place a limit order that triggers the option buy, and it will trigger it at market if the underlying price hits whatever. So for example, if it's expecting, if it said that gold is supposed to go down to 47,777 casino and then bounce, I would put the trigger for the option, depending on how far up it's expecting. So if it was saying it's supposed to go back to 5,000, for example, I'd buy an option based on that trigger. So I would get it as low as $5. And then if it plays out and goes back up to where, the bounce target is, then you're crazy in the money.
Right. Yeah, I love that, using that. If the underlying item does X, then execute this order.
Yeah, definitely good stuff. Exactly.
I was able to catch a nice short on the Nas this morning. I took a 990 short, wrote it down to about 850.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want to see what the market's going to do just leading up to the rate decision. The Nas is just chop fest right now.
Yeah, it's been terrible price action.